It's hard, it's just strange cultural times we live in all over the summer. David Cameron got in trouble, didn't he, for, he's talking about the migrant crisis in Calais, and he described them as a swarm. It hardly seems like the worst crime in the world, I think, a swarm, you know, but regardless of the fact he's Prime Minister, he's a white guy talking about immigration, and sooner or later he's going to run into trouble, isn't he? And it's one of those, you've got to, not really, you have to be careful about. It's not something you can talk about sort of openly in a sort of negative way unless you're writing, you're being paid by the Daily Mail or something. You can't do it. And yet it's something that needs to be discussed, isn't it? It's a cramped, shitty, cluttered little island we live on. Anywhere you go, anything you want to do, you've got to join the end of a massive long queue. If you want a hospital appointment, you've got to wait weeks, sometimes months. You get your child into a half-decent school, you've got to put their name on the end of a long list, cross your fingers and hope for the best. You want to get on a property ladder, you've got to wait till your late 30s for a hole, because the housing market's so oversubscribed in this country. And yet the moment you suggest that, hang on, perhaps you might have a problem with population density, perhaps you ought to have some sort of cap on immigration, some sort of better border control. People go apeshit. People's knee-jerk liberal alarm bells start ringing. You're racist! You're racist! Why do you hate immigrants? Well, what? You got the wrong end of the stick. I told you it doesn't matter. It's not bothered who they are or where they're from or what colour their skin is or what food they eat or what their farts smell like. I'm worried about numbers, volume, density of people living on a patch of land that's not adequately structured to accommodate their needs. Well, all immigrants down through the UK is a nation of immigrants. I know, but some of us arrived when there was still some fucking space. Why do you hate immigrants, aren't you? I told my mum's an Irish immigrant. My mum's from Dublin. She's an Irish immigrant, so she did, you know. But, although it's strange, well, wherever they go in the world now, Irish people are, well, they're loved everywhere. They're Irish people. You are all over the world. People love Irish people. And it's odd. It's an odd thing, isn't it? Well, why is that? Why? I think it's because they've had the same history of persecution and oppression as black and Jewish people, but they tend not to whinge about it quite so much. That's why. Is that? All right, I've overstepped the mark. Fair enough. They'd be able to accommodate any amounts of immigration in this country if the government would only invest in the infrastructure, Andrew. Invest what? Magic beans? There's no money, is there? But we did raise taxes, Andrew. Taxes are quite high. Every time I open a little brown envelope from Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, I already feel like I'm being butt-fucked with a cow pod by the Queen herself. Actually, I agree. In principle, I agree. If we did invest in the infrastructure, we would be able to accommodate any amount of immigration in this country. Fantastic, wonderful. How long would that take to build the extra hospitals, schools, houses? That'd take decades. During which time I would develop an enormous stress ulcer from the burden of having to pay the crippling mortgage on the hovel that I live in and try and get hospital treatment, fail, end up convulsing on the floor in agony in a puddle of my own viscera, eventually die having shat out pints of my own blood. It just doesn't seem like the best solution to the problem. Can't we have better controls, border controls? And then the liberal argument is, we need immigration, Andrew. The NHS wouldn't survive without foreign workers. Fair enough, but then there's a story in the newspaper about a Filipino nurse working in the NHS, and she killed 22 patients by poisoning their drips. It was found out she was psychotic, and it was discovered her qualifications, her documents had been forged. And I shouldn't have done it. I knew it was wrong. I sent a little tweet out on Twitter, just poking fun at sort of sanctimonious types on there. I knew it would only cause trouble. And I sent a tweet. I said, if anything, we need more immigration. The NHS wouldn't survive without psychotic Filipino nurses with forged qualifications. I knew it was wrong.